Place.
I know.
Hey!
Hey! We swear to God, there's a cake down here
It's
with
Greg's
fire.
birthday.
So if we sing happy birthday, is that okay? Will we get cut off?
No,
okay.
No, we have
so
to
let's
do our happy birthday.
No. So we have an awesome song. We'd love to. We actually wrote a song before we came in today.
What?
Yeah. Me and Phil. You ready, Phil?
Oh,
Okay.
yes!
This is your birthday song. It isn't very long.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yay!
Hey!
Oh, that was awesome, you guys. Wow, it must have taken you a long time. to write
Hopefully we
that.
don't burn down this whole place.
No.
Yay! So can we tell the story about Big Thunder Mountain now?
Yeah, most definitely, man. To speak your heart.
Yeah, the story
Many,
behind
many
Big
moons
Thunder
ago.
Mountain. Many moons ago, my big brother got a job at Big Thunder Mountain. And then he got my middle brother a job at Big Thunder Mountain. And then he got me a job at Big Thunder Mountain. So the three of us all worked at Big Thunder Mountain. There is a picture out there, which we'll provide for David, of the three of
Already
us.
have.
Oh, has it already been provided? Of the three of us working at Big Thunder Mountain
And
together.
in the cut, it'll be here.
It'll be here. And
Baby
then
It'll be
because we
here
worked
because
at
I
Big
know
Thunder
it messes
Mountain.
with his workflow.
And
It's
we've had a
all
gaming guild now for what,
over.
25 years?
25 years.
Our gaming guild is known as Big Thunder Mountain, and we've been gaming together for 25 years. And we have an annual meeting called Geek Weekend, where we all meet up and play video games together, which is like the only, almost the only time some of us see each other over the course of the year.
It's like the
Pretty
only
much,
But this has
land
been
party
going on
still in
since what,
existence.
98?
97.
97 was the first
I
LAN
believe
party.
so, yes.
Yeah, when it
And
was
there
like Vampire
there
Clips.
There was 5 of us.
Uh-huh.
It took us 3 days to get all 5 computers. Actually, there's 4 of us, and it took us 3 days to get all 4 computers playing the
What
same
was
game.
the game? Quake?
Mysteries of the Jedi Knight, the original.
The original Jedi Knight,
Yep.
just to do that. And this has been going on for that long now.
Wowzer, man.
And we'll have another one coming up. Did we set the date? March?
March.
So now we just have it at Phil's place, and there's like, it's funny because it used to be about video games, but now like everybody's like
It's about
married and has
snacks.
kids,
Sure.
and now it's all about us like hanging out, getting away from the
Yep.
families, and just
And
like eating snake.
We
eating
do have
snacks.
the second generation because my son has invited his friends,
Mhm.
and a couple of the other guys have brought their kids too.
Yep.
So,
So
and
we're
when we started, we were all a bunch of bachelors working at Disney
Sure.
World.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
And
incredible.
now, my brother Adam has actually kept a list of the computers and who's been there the entire time, and it's sizable.
Really good.
So yeah, Big Thunder Mountain Guild living on for ages and ages.
I
That's
think
so
our biggest
cool.
weekend was 16,
16 people.
something like that.
Was that
Mhm.
peak Wrath of the Lich King that weekend?
No, this was the 20th one we did a couple years ago.
Oh, the 20th one. Yeah,
When,
we even
when
have.
Alex had all of his friends.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. You brought in the next generation of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alex has been
that's
there. Well,
cool.
actually, it's funny because when we used to play Big Thunder, or when we were in peak World of Warcraft back in 2007, 2008,
Somewhere around there.
Phil would have to go put Alex to bed. And
Yep.
then once Alex was down, that's when we could start our runs and everything. And now Alex is part of the guild and like has like his whole
Yeah.
contingency up there too. and
That's so
everything.
cool.
Now, if you guys want to help celebrate Greg's birthday today,
Yeah.
help us reach affiliate. We
Help
only
us
need
reach
3
affiliate.
Get
more
on it.
followers, and
3
we'll
more
get a
followers.
affiliate
3
in under
more
a month.
followers.
Pretty big deal. You should do
Grab
that.
your mobile device.
Yeah, it's free too.
Give
All you
a
gotta
follow.
do, hit follow. Anyone can do it.
You too might
You
find
can do
out
it.
where you can get an Ocalian Knights t-shirt.
What? Tease.
It's happening.
Up for grabs.
Up for
so
grabs.
cool. So
All
cool.
right, bring us
Are
back
you
in the
gonna
game,
take a
David.
count?
Not yet. We
No?
gotta cut a little bit of this
We're gonna
cake.
cut the
We have
cake?
to give
Do we have-
presents.
There's presents.
I
Yeah,
got you
I-
a present, Greg.
I also got
I
you
am
a
your
present.
present.
Hey, you are my present.
I stole
no,
it.
well, you should have still cut and
Oh.
eat your thing.
Oh,
The inspiration token comes with the present.
You can't do
You
that.
have inspiration today.
You can't do that. I stole an inspiration token to give to him.
Oh,
Is there something in the box, or is it just?
There's something in the box. There's something in the box.
Oh my God! It's an autograph, David Lugo, 8x10.
what's in the box?
Did you know this is
That's
exactly what I wanted?
incredible.
Oh my God! You want to know what's so funny? I have an autograph wall at my house.
No,
of
you
horror
don't.
movies. I have an
So put you on there.
in my office. I have
won't.
an
We will
8x10
so put
horror
you on
autograph
there.
wall, and I am so going to subtly just slide that in there. Oh my God!
Steve
it's gonna be
Holt.
so good.
That's wow.
It's actually really good. You're
That's
starting six.
yeah.
That's from my acting days in Orlando, actually.
Wow.
Wow. I was hoping for the Ryan Macy.
Taking it
by
back.
time, but I'll take
Old
what I
school.
can get.
Old school.
That comes in the sequel pack.
You have to be a patron. I know you already are.
We will post on the Ocalian Nights page when I slide that thing in with my autograph wall.
So cool.
Yes.
That is an
Yeah,
honor.
we're
You should
definitely doing that.
Yes.
Happy birthday from all of us. We hope your birthday is filled with food, fun, laughter, and happy moments that turn into happy memories. Aw, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Look, my brother's even in there. And
Your brother even
You
signed
know, I
it.
stole this for you,
Uh-huh.
but I think I should just give it to the rogue instead.
Yeah. We will save that for one
Stolen
non-Dynamite
inspiration
saving moment.
counts, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Stolen
Especially when it's the
inspiration
executive
totally
producer,
counts. There you
free
go,
reign.
right.
Aw.
There
Or when
you
he
go,
accidentally drops a stick of dynamite next to me.
Right?
That's right.
No, that's why he has the lucky feet.
I do have a lucky feet just for that.
Have a piece of cookie cake.
Thank you,
So
sir.
I've gone from being Abigail Bullion to being Mario. I know I feel like
It's a me, a
It's
Mario.
Mario
a
and
Mario. I mean, I am kind of like a plumber in this costume. I don't
No,
know.
they didn't have it kind of down to a science just then. So you were named Abigail, although you came out a boy, because they
you
were just
know.
like, can't change it now.
We already had the invitations printed up.
Yeah, no, we
Right.
already had your headstone created.
Sorry.
What?
Well, you know.
Well, for everybody to know, just to since we're doing
Thank
the
you
Big
so
Thunder
much.
Mountain themed adventure, I already have a Haunted Mansion themed one shot.
That's fun.
You?
I do have
It
a
is
Haunted
fun.
Mansion themed one shot. Everybody, stay tuned for that.
Didn't
one
we
at a
do that?
later
We
date.
did that, right?
Mm-hmm. That was the first one we did together.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I had a blast researching this, and I'm really excited for the remaining of today's adventure.
Yep.
This is a lot of what you're hearing is legit Big Thunder Mountain lore.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited. Yeah,
Like
we will
the-
stay tuned to the Ocalian Nights Haunted Mansion one shot adventure. Not starring Darian and Phil because they've run it already.
Fine. Don't eat the animals. They're plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't eat animals.
I still don't know
anyway,
what
but
ride
don't-
Big Thunder Mountain is.
Oh, it's so good.
Are you serious?
The roller coaster?
The roller coaster?
It's
Cookies
a
delicious.
wooden roller. Isn't it like?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
Steel.
Is it?
It is.
Oh.
When so Darian, my
I
wife.
know it has 3 drops. I know that.
So Darian, my wife, one of our first, when we, actually the first day I ever called her my girlfriend, I introduced her to my buddy Iggy as my girlfriend for the first time. We were at Disney World at the Magic Kingdom, and we were taking her there. Our buddy Bogar got us in. And she's there with this was old school reunion. There was 10 of us who all used to work at Big Thunder Mountain.
So
So we're
cool.
going to Thunder. We're all happy, laughing through the queue and everything. I look at Darian. I'm like, babe, what's wrong? She's like, I don't like roller coasters. And she's like, I don't think I can do this. I'll just pass through when I do it. I'm like, baby, this is Big Thunder Mountain. This is whatever. She's like, all right, I'll do it for you. And we get into Darius just holding on to me like this. And all of us used to work at Thunder, so we barely have lap bars up. We're all like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Sure.
Going nuts and everything. She's just like, I hate this. Oh my God. Hilarious. Because
I think
I
the
swear I
best
look
part-
back.
The best part was when we go around that first corner
Mm-hmm.
and it does just a little bit of a drop. And Greg's like, ha, 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 ha. And I turned and I said, how are you smiling right now? This is terrifying.
Yeah, because we rode that
Yeah.
thing to death back in the day.
No, I thought I was going to die.
I was like, you want to know how you can power this thing up?
Well, I remember the first week I was
Don't,
there.
you're not, don't give any, don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to say the Walt
No,
Disney
no,
World
but-
Corporation does not need to know about anything.
When they would train us, we would sit in the last car, and in order to see where all the brakes and the sensors were, you'd have to look around behind you and go, okay, what one was that?
While
What
you
one
were
was that?" As
riding?
you're going by, you're like,
Oh, jeez.
mm-hmm.
No.
Part of how you got used to
Fun
riding
fact
it and learning
about-
it.
No.
Fun fact about Big Thunder Mountain. One of the most complicated roller coaster systems in the world.
Mm-hmm.
3 lift systems and 4 brake zones.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas most the big ones and everything, they just drop you once and it's all momentum. And then they
Technically
stop
6 because each station is a brake zone.
you. Mm-hmm.
Before Big Thunder Mountain,
You can run 5 trains
2
simultaneously.
was the maximum you would find on a rail coaster like this one. This
Mhm.
one was the first to have 3.
Okay, we're not
Wow.
Or at
sponsored
least
by
the first
Disney.
of that creator's
However,
repertoire of
Yes.
creations.
It's
Disney
3 trains
sponsor us.
running simultaneously, but then 2 in the stations also.
It could be
So there were
5,
5 at
working at a
maximum time. Yeah, maximum
absolutely.
capacity was 5 trains
With-
running
which is
simultaneously.
absolutely
Wow.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This Big Thunder Mountain trivia brought to you by
I know, right?
TJM promos.
BTM. BTM from TJM. You got it.
Don't forget to look up TJM promos for all your promotional item needs.
Yep, they're amazing.
And stuff and things.
All right, David, do
Shirts
the thing
look
where we
amazing.
continue the story.
All right.
All right.
Awesome. Come on.
Feel free to
This
continue to
cookie cake
eat.
is amazing.
Yeah, no problem. We'll just work through that. That'll be the dip in your mouth, worst case scenario.
Flashbacks.
So you guys are heading towards Grotto Mine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You guys do see signs pointing to the left that say Spiral Butte Mine. One that's kind of pointing straight that says the Thunder Mountain Mine. And then you see one off to the right-hand side that says Grotto Mine.
Mm.
You guys head over to the right and head towards Grotto, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. You guys are now walking. You find yourself, yes.
Do we notice any, like... So is it like a mine track heading down into it?
Correct. You're kind of walking on top of railroad track now.
Okay. Do we notice, like... Are you a tracker by chance there, sir?
I am skilled in survival, so yeah, tracking would be part of that repertoire.
So do we notice anything with, like, the mine carts? Like, any type of tracks or anything, like, out of sorts as to what's been
Sure.
going on at the grotto?
Go ahead and roll me a perception check at advantage. Excuse me. Searching for these. Sorry,
Nat 20.
Woohoo! Fantastic. You can make out the footprint of kind of a 10.5 boot size, heading fresh, heading in
180 pounds, slight limp,
and
red hair.
and heading out of Grotto Cave or Grotto Mine.
So just a single set of tracks going in and out.
Single
right now?
set of going in, and you can see a clear, defined one heading out. That looks a little bit more present or more recent. And you can make out as you follow the tracks, you can see a little bit of smoke kind of coming out of the top of this mine shaft.
Okay.
Mm.
There's a single set of tracks coming in and out.
Like
You
Mr.
can-
Ravenswood.
You
Did
can
the-
hear a muffled sound coming from deep within that mine.
Mm.
Are the tracks foot draggy at all, or are they foot steppy?
Footsteppy.
All right, just checking.
Can I investigate
Good
further
call.
into the mines themselves?
Sure. What are you
So-
curious about?
I'm curious to know if there's any blast marks this far up, or if it's maybe
Any
further in.
glass?
Blast
Oh,
marks.
blast.
Blast.
And is this everybody's first time here? You've been here before, Abigail, right?
I've been here when I was young, and
Mm.
things look pretty different now.
I'm a
Pretty
prospector.
different.
Mm.
I don't even recall this trail having been here.
From your memory, you can tell that the hurricanes and earthquakes that have happened over the time have changed the look of the mines. And some of these areas were deep underwater at some point.
Mm.
As you never had to climb up to get to Rainbow Ridge. So that's new to you. But there's been years of about 20 years of earthquakes and hurricanes, and then all of a sudden these accidents started happening.
Mm-hmm.
Blast marks. You see the smoke kind of leading up. You can also see some exit valves up towards the top that have smoke rings kind of pouring out of them. As you can see that Jason Chandler, who's the individual who was in charge of kind of laying out the way that these explosives would look, has done a good job of creating access points for the reverberation and the impact to kind of escape the tunnel to prevent at least the least amount of crumbling and caving in.
Mm.
So when we were walking up to the mine, we didn't notice anybody coming past us or anything. It
Did
was-
not.
Okay.
And by the time you were curious about the footprints, you would have to backtrack quite a bit to see
how
where they
far back
led.
they go. Right.
Correct.
Mm. Well, I guess we gotta descend a little deeper at this point to find out what's going on. Anybody? Is it like quiet? Is it just like the sound of like mine stuff, or like
you
we
can
make out?
you really don't hear too much. There's a slight wind that picks up through the mountain pass.
It's dark in there, right?
Very, very dark.
All right. I would like.
And you hear a muffled sound deep within the mine.
kind of sound.
It's too difficult to even make out, but it's muffled. But it's clearly a sound being made by
There's
people.
something happening down
All right, I would like to pull out a pack of glow sticks from one of my pouches.
Explain to me these glow sticks.
These glow sticks can actually go up to 60 feet, and there's 4 of them. And they almost look like globules of light.
How do you plan on dispersing that magic?
I
Or that-
just start throwing the glow sticks, and they've got a sticky adhesive to them, so they just stick to the top, lighting the way.
I do declare that's mighty convenient.
So you're kind of putting them to the wall to light each of your areas. So at maximum, you have a 10-foot kind of space of light that is
So-
there.
So I'm like throwing them up,
Throwing them in front of you.
yeah,
As we're
creating like a
walking?
path of light as we're going.
4 of them.
Yeah, and then every like 10 or 20 feet, I throw out another pair.
Mm.
As this cave becomes more and more lit up by these glowing small lanterns that find themselves stuck to the wall cave or the cave walls. You can see strings of what looks like intact wick, kind of circulating the tops of the mine shaft.
Don't look at me like that.
Every
I wouldn't
5
light a wick that I didn't know where it went.
every 5 to 10 feet, you can make out kind of a truss in the wall against the wall with wood that kind of goes over the top and back down, kind of providing some structure to this 10-foot wide kind of tunnel that you guys are climbing into or walking.
High ceiling, low ceiling.
Medium. It's about 6-7 feet tall. If you're taller than that, you may have some issues. But most people can walk comfortably through here, even side by side, if you wanted to. As you travel further and further, there is a decline that begins to happen. And you guys notice you haven't come across a single cart yet.
What are
For
these?
whatever that might.
Track still intact and everything.
Track still intact. If you were following, eventually you start getting to wet footprints heading in the opposite direction.
Yeah, do I still see those tracks coming?
You
and
do,
going?
yeah. They're wet at some point, and then the wetness kind of dissolves. And as you notice now that the grotto leads towards a small pool of water.
Are these wicks? Is it continuous throughout the mine, or is it? So it is everywhere.
They're 2 along the top. So far, you guys are just down the first corridor.
But they're all connected.
You don't know that there are. You see 2 separate strings kind of looped along the walls. You have nothing that tells you that there's a connection.
No, but there's
between
been
them.
no break in them.
No break in them.
I would like to connect them and have a wire attached to me that's continuing in case we need a quick exit.
Yeah, so like you pick a spot towards the center of this hallway leading down.
And I
And you
string
kind
them
of
together.
string one atop that's connected to you that still pulls wick as you walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way, that if we need to, I can light it and we can blow this whole place down.
Well,
Behind us, right, sir?
Well, after we get past the point of no return.
Well, I was actually thinking maybe we should snip the wire so nobody at the front of the cave could light it on us up there.
So can we snip them like before us, like there, Mr. Wickmaster?
Can I? Where would I, as a professional, know the best point would be?
So past where you would be able to like exit safely would be, I mean, right about. So you guys are getting to a more narrow area that leads down, and you actually have to submerge yourself underwater for a moment to get to the other side, which you can kind of see is above the water level, but this area seems to go underneath water. If you cut it there, you would at least be able to maintain like your line so that if you escaped and lit, you would be able to blow this part in front of the water. If somebody tried to light it from the front and didn't travel into the mine to this point, they would have no idea that those lines were cut. But if somebody did walk down to that middle line and saw the line cut, they could easily light that end of it. And
maybe
y'all
we
would be
should
screwed.
we should cut it before the water, and then put up a new line that we carry with us inside.
Excellent. So as you guys kind of find yourselves in front of this waiting water, kind of little bits of splashing coming in your direction, the echoing of this muffled sound getting louder and louder, which sounds like whoa.
Can I make an investigation check to see how far away it might be?
You could roll a perception check.
But I
Any you
really
guys
like
got sneaky types
investigation.
that could get up through there and see what's up ahead a bit.
I don't think a 4 is gonna do it.
No.
But it could be a
Probably.
16 if you let me use investigation. Look, it's a very big swing. It's -4 to a +8.
So you got to go under the water to get to the other side.
Correct.
Who's gonna go?
Is it like
first?
under a cave wall?
And it's like, there's like
underwater
a
cave. Okay.
dip down on this red kind of wall rock in front of you. You have to travel underneath this water to get underneath it. And then what looks like, if you look from the sides, another walking path leading kind of up on the other side.
So is there no way to climb on the wall to get across this water?
No way.
Where you can see.
The wall kind of comes to a point. You have
I'd
go
like to like
underneath
dip my
that.
finger down in the water and give it a sniff. Is it just regular
Sure,
water?
regular old water as far as you
Doesn't
can
smell
tell.
like pee.
Definitely not pee.
Just checking.
Not pee, ma'am. We left that one behind. Thank you very much. Well,
We'll get there's no perception check needed. You guys have lights everywhere. There is a horseshoe, kind of right side up, along that's kind of like not stamped in, but like drilled into this rock.
mhm.
If you guys are superstitious, you know that horseshoes are a sign of luck.
But it depends on the direction that they're facing. So is
Does
this
indeed.
horseshoe this away or that
It's
away?
this away.
Oh, it's this away. Well, that's a good thing. Alrighty then.
Is there a way that I'd be able to blow up this kind of like haven?
Now you calm down there, sir. We'll
Easy.
just go ahead.
I don't want to get wet, if you catch my drift.
Well, let's not go get in there.
Mainly because our
Sure.
powder won't work and
Now,
our
so-
rifles.
Ooh.
If
And the like.
you've taken apart entire mountainsides, you could devise using her pickaxe, kind of create a little crack, put in the right amount of explosives below the middle section, which would then have that bottom half fall into the water part. You'd be able to walk on the stone. But you are in a recently exploded mine, with wood holding it up.
I would like to do that. 'Cause I'd like I would personally like my weapons to work. My weapons should be working, but
Sure.
going in water will stop all of our weapons from doing what they need to be doing.
Sure.
I know how black powder works.
Awesome. Go ahead and acquire a pickaxe, or you probably have your own.
Whoa.
I do
If
have
she
my
does
own.
decline. Now that I think about
I
it.
am a prospector.
Yep. Go ahead and talk me through this and make some rolls.
May I also,
Boy, this is
having him
Fine.
talk through this, may I cast a shield spell around your thing to prevent any kind of like cave in or anything at
So
the same
the
time?
shield up towards the ceiling.
Like where like I'll coordinate with him and be
Uh-huh.
like, in the event that there would be some type of cave in or bad something happening, I can put a shield around where the explosive would go off for like maximum
You mean forcing it one way?
forcing it one way to only do what you want it to do, but not cause any instability.
If the
can
surrounding area began to crumble, you would be able to reaction cast shield to protect you and anyone standing near you.
Okay.
But casting it ahead of time and preventing it from going in certain directions,
Mm.
probably not what that's able to do.
So I would like to use my investigation to find the exact points where I know that I can do the mathemadeus. In order.
No, absolutely. You without a roll, you know where to
Okay.
put the materials.
All right.
What it's going to come down to is your intelligence to picking the right amount of explosive.
Okay. Well, I'll do an intelligence save if you need that.
Yes. please and thank you.
Can
or an intelligence skill check of your choice.
I would like the save.
Perfect. It should be a check. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
can I roll it at advantage?
You cannot roll it at advantage.
All
'cause
right.
this is a tricky task.
You're asking for trouble. It was a natural 20, and then it rolled over.
To a 2?
No. To a 6 plus 5, 11. Am I gonna really? Yeah, I think I'm gonna use a lucky point.
I think that's
I'll
a
re-roll
great idea.
That is a great idea.
Man, you're really not liking me today. 12.
12 total.
You sure that's not a saving throw?
And so I would love if anybody has a counter action to announce it now. Let's roll initiatives if it counters his being able to actually light this dynamite. But I see him currently etching a dot into what he sees as the center of this rock. As you see a crack, he pulls out some small bits of black powder and begins to pour it into the
Well,
concrete itself.
if you're cracking the rock, maybe we could just hit it with both of our pickaxes at the same time, and we could make the bottom portion crumble without making the boom.
Well, that's like half the fun of the situation.
Potentially, yes. It's also half the danger, double the danger, twice, 2 times.
I'm gonna make use of my survival skills
Yep.
and kind of look over the cave and kind of scooch us back to a place underneath some of the main supports and say, you guys might want to come stand over here.
I
I'm
love
with
it.
y'all.
As the 3 of you guys
with
back
y'all.
up about 7 feet total from this point underneath one of the wood angles, you light this explosive. Roll damage for me.
Finding it away, and I used the plunger box.
Oh,
Oh, the plunger.
So you
box.
put a
Plunger.
piece of wick
Yeah.
and you back up with them.
Yeah.
did you take that from the goat?
He's got the little hand.
No, I had a plunger box
Oh,
on
okay.
me. I should
Little
always
Billy
carry a
goat.
plunger box.
Yeah.
Because this is way more fun.
So you guys stay with him underneath this thing while he has the plunger. You boom. And the wick lights faster than you guys have ever seen a wick light. And boom! This loud explosion happens. And the walls begin to cave. And in front of you is now piles and piles of debris and rock piled
Wow.
from the ground all the way to the ceiling.
I
Great.
can fix this.
And a
Nope.
crowd of dust.
I can fix this. Don't worry.
Stop fixing things.
I can fix it.
Stop it.
Once the dust
The
clears,
situation has not improved.
and prestidigitation. Completely clean clothes
I
again.
love that, like, the way this looks is you tug, like, the middle of your jacket, boom, and you're completely clean. Look like clean for the Western times.
I can fix this.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about it. Take out 2 lighters
My
and I go.
beard has become an eyebrow. I don't know what just happened.
Wait.
I have
Before
no
you do
idea.
that, can
So
we
you're
go?
doing
go
what? You're holding what, 2 lighters?
To the 2 wicks that are along the side of the room.
Oh,
Mage
God.
hand.
Why? Yeah.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah,
look
stop
at the
him.
rock pile
Stop him.
first and see if there's.
As soon as he lights them
space
up,
at the
just
top.
like mage hand and instantly.
I love that. Like in the mage hand for me is the
Yeah.
you shoot one side. I would love the brother to kind of shoot the other
That
side.
sounds good.
Yeah.
And the kind of wick falls out of being on fire. And we
I
turn
told
over.
y'all I could fix the
You
situation.
done messed this up already once, son. We're gonna look for alternative answers at this point.
Look, this dynamite.
You had one job.
This dynamite here
One
is designed
job.
to make the passageway larger. That'll get us past the rubble. All we gotta do is light it. And then
You
we'll see.
didn't do a very
So, like,
good
is the
job of
water
that.
collapsed and everything too now? It's just a.
From you guys being 7 feet away, the water kind of splashed up to about your feet, but are now like receding back in the other direction, leaving the floor nice and soggy and wet. But you no longer see any signs of water. Directly in front is just piles and piles of different size stones from the floor to the ceiling.
But you can't. Can we see any type of anything
Nothing.
beyond? No.
Absolutely nothing.
No gaps.
Complete
no,
cave in.
Complete cave in.
Can I Can I earth walk? I mean,
Can you?
I can,
Would be
right?
cool.
I mean, my granddaddy taught me one time that if I was ever in a situation like this and it looked like there was absolutely no way to get through, that I could earth walk and I could get myself over to the other side.
Remember
Well-
that?
So talk to me about Earthwalk.
Remember that
What you got
low
going on
magic?
with Earthwalk?
This is low.
So
This is low. This
I
is
like
one
to
thing.
I like to think that there are these super small caverns, like
Yeah.
every so often, throughout each of the wooden kind of barricades that are there, or not barricades, but like structures that are protecting from the collapse. You see, I mean, maybe a 4-foot wide kind of crawling tunnel that you know is used by tunnelers to kind of display the mine or the TNT.
I'm doing a claustrophobia.
Doing a heckin'
Yeah.
claustrophobia. So
Well,
you see one of those.
yeah.
Flooded cave to me.
Yeah, I do. And I things have changed a lot, but I know that those tunnels are usually real good. They're real good for getting you where you need to go. So I think I'm just gonna hop on up in there and
Start to
shimmy my
shimmy.
way into there. And
Fudge,
yeah,
yeah.
I think I'm just gonna shimmy it on my elbows. Just
Heck yeah. As
army
you
crawl.
begin to, complete, do you have dark vision by chance?
I don't.
Awesome. You are crawling into a pitch black tunnel.
Great.
Would you like my goggles before you go on in
Or
there?
you could throw me one of your. Do you have any more glow sticks?
I do, but my goggles give you dark vision.
Oh, true. I didn't know you had them. All right.
Yeah, I'm an artificer.
An artificer.
Well,
How
I-
You've
convenient.
got dark vision goggles.
I do have dark vision.
Darian
goggles.
has a.
I
Don't worry,
love
everybody.
Oh,
Darian has a prop.
I
Flipping
can't do it with
love
my
it.
hat. There, those are perfect.
If she didn't physically have those on her, I would have looked at Ryan's character sheet. But because she has them on her,
I'll be.
unnecessary.
All right, I've got my dark
I
vision.
do physically have it on my
I
sheet.
know you do. That's why I was
course.
gonna ask.
I
I forgot I only have one hand. That was very difficult.
I specifically
Alright,
wanted
so-
them for dark vision.
There we go.
Wonderful.
All right, so now.
your dark vision, your eyesight starts to become clear, and you see this tunnel that leads directly forward and then cuts left. And you outside of just rock wall and pieces of like wads of wick that looks like it probably got like balled up or tied up while someone else was going, so he just snipped it and left it there, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
And then just started with a new string. You are kind of following this trail of wick that you see. Every so often coming to a bundle of dynamite.
All right. I would like to. I kind of feel like maybe I should grab some of these bundles of dynamite. I can't see anything with those. They're very stylish, but they obviously don't work. I mean, they work great in the
For
dark.
this.
They're just great. Yes. Yeah, we'll just keep them here.
Nice.
So I think so, but can I see with my dark vision goggles that are definitely still on?
Mhm.
Can I see that if there's another opening, like anytime soon, where I'm going to be able to get back into the main tunnel?
At the moment you don't, but you do. So you've made one turn as is the only turn in front, and
Mhm.
now you're heading straight, which would be kind of parallel to the surface you guys were walking on. So you
Okay.
imagine if you continued further,
Okay, then I'll
you'd
probably
eventually
get
get
into that-
to
Mhm.
the other side
Mhm.
of this walkway.
Well, all right. All right. I think I would. Because this gentleman was oh so kind, Mr. Prospector. I would like to grab one of the bundles of dynamite, and I'm just gonna kind of shimmy it down into my pocket,
Sure.
so that I can give it to him in exchange for having let me borrow the dark vision goggles. That's gonna be my gift to him. I'm gonna be like, look, I got you a
You find
boomstick.
3 sticks of dynamite,
3 sticks. Sweet. I have those. I can't add them.
and you begin to crawl.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna keep on trucking.
Awesome. Eventually, you get down. Is there anything you guys are actively doing while she's climbing? Because this is going to take a minute. Not a very long time, but a
whole
minute.
minute.
Check out the cave in and see if there's just no getting through it. Or...
So if you spent time maybe finding a cart, rolling a cart here, filling it with stones, wheeling the cart out, emptying the cart, wheeling the cart back, You could eventually get through this cave in, no doubt.
If we got that kind of time.
I'm gonna go back up the tunnel a little bit and watch to see if that boom attracted any unwanted attention.
Ooh, wonderful. Excellent. So you head up towards the entrance of the cave.
Yeah, not super far up, but just
sure.
enough to where I'm still like within shouting distance of these guys.
I'm going to say you get to the point where the water prints end and the kind of dripping of drops, but then you eventually see regular footprints leaving you. So that's about as far as you've gone up. You don't hear or see anything heading in your direction. Mr. Prospector? Anything you're consciously doing in this moment?
Thinking about the explosive.
Yep.
What force it would take.
Easily I could just fix this problem.
I could, honestly. Honestly, if they just gave me the chance, I could blow this all away.
I have a brother whose favorite saying is, if it can't be done with heavy weapons, it ain't worth doing.
It isn't worth
I
doing.
love that. Former infantry, you say.
Now, could I, in theory, use Thunder Wave and blast the rocks further down the tunnel?
You could. You have a in-depth understanding of explosives, and you know that would not be what happens.
Now, could I use Shatter to break the rocks with my Shatter team?
If you were outside of a cave, you could use Shatter easily to break down a stone. But because of the reverberations of this room, it would be catastrophic to the survival of you and everyone else.
I am now holding Cumulus Explosive.
GPK, and thanks for joining us.
Know what you do with that. Crawling down, now you find yourself at a steeper angle heading down. And you begin to roll a dexterity save for me, please. 12. 14.
Yes.
You scoop your legs out to the outside, each boot kind of bracing yourself against the wall as you don't slide uncontrollably, but you're able to now kind of control yourself as you continue this army crawl. A light at the end of the tunnel to the left-hand side finally appears in your vision. As you climb down to the end, the muffled noise now becomes clear as you hear.
There's a spawner.
You hear many different sounds of trudging, walking, splashing, and this moaning sound continuously.
Oh, I don't like that. I prefer not to go toward the light. I prefer not to go toward the light. Ugh.
Going backwards up this hill would be incredibly difficult. And in front of you, actively, you only see the left-hand turn, which is heading towards this sound, and the blackness of the tunnel you're in.
Lord. Now, at the juncture where the turn and the blackness meet, is it possible that I would be able to potentially turn around so that I was heading back up the tunnel?
That
Rather
turn
than climbing
itself
backwards.
might be too tight, but if you exited the tunnel and then jumped back in, you're much more suitable to be able to. This is a very small 4x4, unless you have any kind of special bendy qualities of your
I don't have any
character.
bendy qualities. I'm not Gumby. I mean, whew, yikes. Okay. I don't want to do that.
Is he?
And you haven't quite looked out there yet, so I just wanted that to be
I know, but I'm
cool.
scared to
Oh,
look
I
out
don't
there
blame
because what if they're looking back at me?
blame you.
What if they's looking back at me? All right. All right, let's see. I do have my little dark goggles on, and there's light up there anyway, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna can I just like stealth?
Yeah.
Can I
Roll me a
stealth?
stealth check, please.
Yes. My little stealthness. Oh, nat 20. What?
Wonderful.
What?
Invisible.
All right.
Wonderful.
I'm going to
She
use all
is
my
the knight.
stealthness. All my
I am the wall.
stealthness
I am the
to
wall.
glance around the corner.
As you creep to the very edge, this sound getting louder and louder, very reminiscent of the sound that the family was using to attack Cumulus earlier.
Ooh, he a damn zombie.
As you peer over, you can see what looks like 12 or 13 miners. Some of them sitting down on the floor, other ones kind of pawing at the stones, trying to make them loose to get through. You can see them covered in a kind of dark soot on their skin, and you definitely gather that these people are not normal, but you are unseen to them whatsoever, kind of peering low.
And at this point, I can turn around.
You could come out, kind of holding yourself up, and then climb back in. Not the most difficult task, but I mean, certainly not a walk in the park.
Well, do I see any, like, other than that, do I see anybody I might recognize at all, potentially? Anyone from my family? Like, is my daddy in there?
He's not.
All right, just checking. Well, because, we all thought he died, but he just sort of disappeared. That's why maybe Granddaddy didn't know. I don't know. But I didn't know if maybe there was anybody I recognized in there.
You don't, but you do notice the name Goodrich on one of the uniforms.
Quick question.
Mhm.
Where are they standing in relation to the rubble?
They are about 7 feet away, or he's now
about
35,
30,
like
yeah.
30 feet away. He's 7 feet from the rubble itself.
Are the zombies at the other side of the rubble? Is she looking at
The
here?
other side of the rubble. So she kind of went. If this is the path you guys were on, she went up, over, and then over.
The damn zombie miners are on the other side of the rubble.
Now you can see a train, kind of in the back half of this grotto, kind of parked.
I know what ride this is now.
Kind of parked. There's like 12 people, and then the train, and the train is in this direction.
This is a fantastic roller coaster. I know exactly what ride this
It
is
is
now.
a fabulous roller coaster. Do I see a clear path between to get to the train, or there's just so many people in between? You're kind of
at
all
the
over.
halfway point. 6 of them are facing this way, and 6 of them are kind of sitting around. Your natural 20 stealth check could bleed into something you want to do now.
Yeah. It
Which way is the train facing on the tracks?
Facing your direction.
Out.
We can't see any of that, though.
You cannot see any of that.
Okay.
No, but I need to go.
Can I
that
throw the
way.
vial and yell run? And then
Yeah.
fire in the hole?
You totally can.
I'm going to throw it because I know I can clear it.
You
Go
gonna
ahead
do it
and-
right now.
Go ahead and roll a attack roll for me, please.
Okay.
Add advantage as the rocks are not moving.
Erase this stuff.
Good thing I've got a high thing on this. 13.
13, was it a natural 1 by chance?
No, it was a
great.
5
Yeah,
and a 2.
13 it would have been possible. As you release this vial of blue onto the rock face, expecting a giant explosion and running in the opposite
Fire in the
direction,
hole!
Run! The vial crashes against the rocks, and the blue liquid just drips down, and nothing happens.
I told you
Yes.
it was all water.
As you hear
Told you it
a
was piss.
slight yell of Prospector, run!
Why would he
Does it-
But
lie
that
to
is what
me?
you hear. So
Does
that,
the train look like
run
it
is
has
the last
coal
thing you
in it?
heard.
Right. Shucks.
So this cave-in, Is it like a lot of rocks?
It is
Or-
a significant amount of rocks.
A significant amount of rock.
Not enough to where we're gonna dig through there in a few minutes. It'd
But
be
the
a couple
train-
hours.
I
Couple
mean-
hours.
Yeah.
My
the train's
question
pointed
being,
back toward y'all. The train's not coming back through this line, through the line that's blocked, is it? It's coming back through.
It's heading towards the blocked line.
Fire that.
You know,
Horsepower behind
but
it.
you really think, you don't think there's too much rocks there? I can't decide if I want a beard or a unibrow. It's a hard day. It's a really hard day. I'm
Headcanons, you have all of them.
yeah. So I kind of like. Okay, so I'm fast. I am fast.
Oh, wait, that's not the right die.
I'm super dashy and stealthy and stuff.
Mhm.
18
do
sleight of
you
hand.
remember this train from your youth? Would she?
I do.
She's an engineer, bruh.
You kidding me?
You know this train.
Don't you mess
You
around.
know
I
the
can see
train.
it right now. There's
David,
even
18
coal
sleight
in
of
the
hand.
car.
I am brave.
I am brave.
Not
We'll
the-
get to you in a moment. You already had an action.
There's
Baby,
coal.
right
waiting
on the
for her to make a
side it says
decision.
the name of the train is
I am brave.
It's exactly what it
That's
says.
right. That's right. That. Oh, I know exactly how to fire that
You guys
bad
are
boy
good.
up. All right. So I think I am going to use my sneakiness
Cool.
and make an attempt to get past, because I'm super stealthy, so them 6 might not even ever see me. I just only got to worry about them other ones. And if I go fast enough, I could probably get to the train, fire it up, and go.
Sure. So, there are a couple people sitting
die.
down. There are a couple people kind of meandering wall to wall. Explain to me how you kind of descend, drop down to the ground. There's a wood plank along the top that you could shimmy across. You could drop all the way down and kind of move quickly. There's a bunch of different. Like how do you
Is
see
there water
yourself?
in this area?
The
too?
water is all towards the 6 of the people to the left.
Okay.
No water going up towards the train.
Oh, shucks. All right. Well, then, I think I would take the shimmy route, but I think I would like grab it. I would hop from my little perch and I would grab it and then I would swing like skinning a cat. I'd swing my feet right up there and I'd latch onto it like a monchichi and I would just inch my way down
Sure.
down to the train.
We'll get a strength check
Ooh.
at advantage
Oh, good. Well,
as you've climbing through mine shafts and getting through.
Ooh, that good, huh?
Ooh.
a nat 1 and a 3. Hey.
Happy birthday, baby.
Oh, necessary.
It's your
Well,
birthday.
Yeah, giving that up will get you a double reroll. So you get
Okay,
the
all right.
advantage roll
We're
again.
gonna-
This is 4. If it
Here.
comes out bad, it's
Don't be
supposed to
messing
happen,
around.
guys. It's not my fault.
Don't be messing around. All right. We
Oh,
got a
yeah.
15.
Oh, awesome.
All right.
15 plus?
And my
Strength?
0.
15.
15.
No, easily. You hold yourself up, kind of monkeying across the bars or the wood planks, and you kind of lower your feet just in front of the train itself. No one on the ground has any idea you're even there. We're gonna zoom back over to the gentleman. What are you thinking? What are you doing at the moment?
It's almost too quiet.
Now I know
Well-
what y'all thinking. Just trust that I know what I'm doing here.
Here's what I got. I got levitate as a spell. And this spell can levitate a target that weighs up to 500 pounds. So, cumulatively speaking, could I do 500 pounds worth of rocks?
Yeah.
Now, my next question being, seeing as how I am a sorcerer, can I metamagic twin spell
Sure.
and
Move
spend
1,000?
sorcery points equal to a target, but it normally would target a second creature. But could I like metamagic and like super levitate a bunch
Yeah.
of the rocks?
Yeah. I think absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
As the tss happens,
Mhm.
you see this wick disappear into the tunnel that
I assumed it went in the right one.
it did not.
That's why I held up the right side.
The right side.
I thought she went to the left.
She's on the right. Oh, I guess I'm looking down.
Yeah, you're looking down.
You're looking up the hall. I guess that makes
Not my
sense.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
You notice the follow across the beam and still go to the right as it goes into the tunnel that she's in and disappears, and you hear the slight. You are far gone from now. You don't hear any of this. You begin.
You unsnipped
Well,
the TNT
so
line.
I'm doing that while
Yeah.
he's doing lighting the thing. So
Alright.
I'm
Got the
just
dynamite in my
so
pocket.
I'm just watching the whip.
So are you,
You
I imagine
unsnipped it,
you went
right?
over to the
Okay.
rocks
I was gonna
and are
say.
trying to figure out how to best
You just hear the Check the
de-rock
bucket.
this area. As you hear this happen,
Okay.
you could react to this happening.
So where's it? So he likes
Behind
the
you,
wick.
so you are right up against the rocks.
Uh-huh.
About 7 feet behind you is that kind of archway.
Uh-huh.
Right above the archway is where she climbed in,
Mhm.
and that is where you see the wick kind
Ah.
of crawling in behind.
Like behind her,
Behind the tunnel she went into.
mage hand.
Mage hand.
What are you doing?
Okay, so in my defense, I didn't know that there was a line that was going over there, unless it's the one that I did connect.
I may have done that.
I've extinguished the wick.
Okay, but what about the one going down the right side?
That one led to the left side, or it went to the right side. But either way, they lead to that right 3
Oh.
sticks of
So
dynamite.
so I like, and like, can I just like, as I do that, I'm like, and like just like start like super levitating the rocks.
Sure. Now, I would love it to flavor in this world instead of it levitating out. You kind of find a piece lower on the rock face, and kind of pull it out, and it begins to,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then you do the other side, and I mean you're moving tons of this rocks as it's sliding. And you imagine now you can hear it sliding in the opposite direction. You begin to see these rocks kind of tumbling on top of these things that are walking towards that front half of that blocked cave.
Thanks for creating a distraction.
Yes.
While these guys are making all the racket, I'm still watching the back to make
Hell
sure no
yeah.
one comes
Understood.
after me.
Understood.
Now
You
that could have been
Enough noise to
solved
you
wake
with
get
dead
to
back
the
there.
train, and you do the checks that you know you need to do. There is a you open up the fuel area and it is empty.
Shit. Shuck.
These are not
Shucks.
poisons.
But you are in a coal mine, as the grotto mines are a coal mine, opposed to the very famous Thunder Mountain mines being a gold mine.
Right. Right. Yes. Grotto mines. coal
So
mines.
there is coal here.
Well, I do have the dynamite that I
You
picked up along the
do.
way. Can I just
You
shove that
won't?
into the? Can I just? I just want to like speed train this bad boy out of here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I would like
Yeah.
to do that. I would like to shove the dynamite
Shove the dynamite
into the
in.
engine, and I'm gonna just hang on for dear life. I'm gonna hop on in and go all aboard, and I'm
Love
just gonna.
it. You unclip the brake.
Yes.
And the train begins to spin wheels. And as the fire catches the ignition of this large explosion, boom! It crashes forward. Smashing on the front of this train is heaps of people.
Oh, God.
Oh God.
As
I
you
speed
run
training the
through
zombies.
those 12 people and into the rock faces that are piling around the car itself. The front windshield shatters as some of the rocks hit, and you guys start to hear the sound of what it sounds like a juggernaut pushing through this wall.
I heard the sound of dynamite going off. Something's going on down there that we need to get a part of.
And you guys see this train barreling through the rocks in
Duck back.
front. Not enough room. You will
Oof.
need to run.
Running it is in.
Run!
Glad I got a 30-foot head start.
At
No.
advantage, you're going to roll an athletics check.
So I'm assuming I see this light heading towards me,
Yes.
and like the thing's like barreling. Oh boy.
Let's see, athletics. Can I shatter it?
Ooh.
The train?
Yeah.
You can try.
I don't know this.
I'm planning on bailing from the train. I've got body parts like on me.
I got a 7
Like,
for mine.
Oh,
boy.
jeez.
Oh no.
I would like
I tripped
to.
on one of the
Take
Take
ties.
your time. What you got?
God, I was so excited.
I'm pretty sure. So, like, how much space are we talking about here? Where I am like levitating these rocks, and I would like to continue, but then like cast levitate again on
Sure.
myself. And like, do I have enough room to like glide myself around the way?
The only exit, so this is a train. You're in a 10-foot wide tunnel.
Yeah.
There's almost no room against the walls.
Well, I mean, like to go over it.
oh,
and, like, land in the thing.
Shite.
Like, I'm assuming I'm seeing the thing, so like I can levitate myself, and I'm seeing it barreling towards me. And I'd like to be like, because I'm already like casting levitate and everything, but then just like levitate myself up and
So,
like kind of float around.
Let's look at that as a strength, an athletics or acrobatics at advantage. And this is you kind of pulling yourself up on one of the trusses and kind of lifting your legs, kind of like super muscle builder style.
Oh yeah, skinning a
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And you are at advantage. 8. As you are trying to lift yourself up,
Where is
there
my?
just isn't enough clearance, and the top spout kind of knocks you, and you find yourself kind of holding on to the front of this train, as his junk is like right in front of the window.
Oh, is it like cat butt?
It is.
Like cat butt out from like under my pantaloons?
All right, I've got
Like there's just like the big.
I'm gonna
flossy,
get you one of
fluffy
those
tail.
tail
What
charms.
is
that
your reaction to this train coming through?
Okay, I've got a really stupid physics-based
Cool.
response.
What you got?
So my Thunderwave TNT blasts like a claymore, where it blasts
Sure.
backwards, and it's got a 10-foot knockback. So I'm wondering if I can stop the momentum of the train with this dynamite.
You could
Fight
try.
fire with fire.
Are you out of here at this point?
Alternatively-
He is jetting. He's 35 feet behind you guys, running
bailed.
towards the entrance of the cave.
Alternatively, my other solution is throwing some thermite heat metal and punching a hole in the boiler so that.
I am riding that boiler at the moment, so you calm down.
What would you like to do, Mr. Prospector?
And then my third option is shattering the whole train.
Your choice. I like all three of those.
I
options.
like
I
all three
love
of these
the
options
train.
as well. I think the fun option is doing the shatter,
Sure.
my bad, not shatter. What is it called? Thunderwave, where I try to push the train
Oh,
back and stop the
yeah.
momentum. I think that's a really fun way. I'm totally down with dying off of that.
Is that your choice?
Yeah, I think it is.
Final
So,
answer?
I like to think that you light a stick of dynamite, throw it down in front, and kind of just stand. Like,
Yeah,
you're-
I expect I've calculated the physics of this
You're
out.
supposed to be like Men in Black,
Yeah, yeah.
like the
Uh-huh.
spaceship,
And then it'll stop right in
right
front of
in
me.
front of you.
I believe this full-heartedly.
All right. So normally this would be a save for the train, like for the
Yes.
thing casting it against. There's no save for the train. It's not a failure. It's an automatic success. So you're gonna need to do an appropriate amount of damage.
Okay.
You have 2d8 to roll.
Mm-hmm.
You need at least a 5 on the die to alter the direction the train is going.
So does it matter that technically I get a +2 to damage rolls?
It does not matter.
Okay. So I have to get.
If it does, then you need a 6. Then you can keep your 2.
So it's a minimum of that, right?
No, it's a 2d8. So you could get a 16 total
Okay.
if you get at least a 12.
I like it. Don't fail me. That's a 7 on one die and a 2 on the other.
9. Insufficient amount. So a 10 total. 9, 10, 11. So an 11 total.
I thought you said I needed a 5.
You needed a 12. So 2d8 would be 16 total. You needed at least double 6s.
I'm gonna
Or an 8 and a 6.
for the
or-
lulls. I'll use my last lucky point because I still think this is a cool moment.
Sounds like a plan.
Rule of cool then.
That's a 6.
A 6 and a 7.
A 6 and a 7.
Beautiful. As the tracks in front kind of bevel inward, and the front of the train hits the beveled ground. You strength check for me, please.
12.
Dexterity save for me, please.
19 on the die.
Beautiful.
21.
I'm sorry, a strength save.
Oh,
I don't know if
strength
that
save?
changes or not.
For a sorcerer, no.
9.
9.
Sorry, you got that
No,
wrong.
no problem at all. I do apologize. My mistake. You find yourself flying from this kind of hub at the top of the train backwards and into the tracks. Boom, boom, boom.
Wait, am I flying backwards from the train or
flying
forward momentum?
in the
Toward me.
direction the train was going. Now you're flying backwards, but in the direction the train was going.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was
You were
holding
here.
on to the thing.
Yeah. And it
So
came
I'm,
to the
Like,
well, am I going
stop.
towards Prospector
Yes.
or?
Yeah, while
You're
he does that,
heading
can I
towards
say, I told you
Prospector.
explosives work?
You're going to take 6 points of damage as you skid across the ground. You're going to take 3 points of damage as you kind of crash into the walls, but hold yourself from getting too hurt. And the train comes to a right in front of your feet as the dust hits the... And you begin to hear... coming from deeper in the cave.
I turn around and go, see, I told you, explosives solve most problems.
I jump out of the train.
Prestidigitation.
I love it.
And I just turn away from him.
You guys begin to exit the cave. The train
Yeah.
is no longer working.
Yeah, so I jump out of it.
Wonderful.
I'm
Abby,
scared.
what's up there?
Before
y'all, we gotta
before you
move.
exit the train, roll me an investigation check or perception check, your choice.
And that'll be 16, thanks.
Excellent. You find a pouch of a velvet purple pouch that feels like it has some coin.
In the
You can
train?
investigate those inside the train.
Really? All right. Okay. In the train. I'm going to take that.
And then you exit the train. You
And
hear
we
the
run.
moaning coming from the opposite side. You reach the exit of this cave and you hear that explosion. You fear the worst.
I'm gonna step back in and see if everyone's still there. or not.
Before you get up there, you kind of crash, skittering against the ground. Train stopped right in front of you. You are now exiting the train. What is your immediate reactions to all of this? Where are you headed? What are you doing?
Like the noise is happening from down there?
From behind the train, several feet, what you would assume is behind the rocks. This is now the unmuffled version. And you know
But the
you
rocks are
crashed
like-
through.
Yeah.
The path is open now from
Cleared.
where it's coming?
Correct,
Yeah.
but you now have a big ass train in front.
Okay.
Right. So I'm hollering. And
And bodies scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
At the moment,
can
you
see the
see
parts
you
that
see
were on the front of the
pieces
train.
of
Yeah.
body on the
Yeah.
train.
Do I notice that they are like black and gooey like the other things
Yeah.
were? Or
Definitely, much like the dead
so
bodies.
I'm seeing
that
her
you
get out and I'm just like,
killed.
what was back there?
there's a whole mining crew that's just like them people we saw out in the desert when we were coming into town. There's a whole mining crew just like them. They're not acting right. There's something wrong with them.
I like point at him. I'm like, I do suggest we hightail it on up out of here.
I mean, I could always light the fuse.
Yeah.
Skedaddle
and you guys
on
leave.
out.
You see them running in your direction.
We're just like,
I'm not even going to stop to ask. I'm just going
Doc,
to turn around
start
and
the
step
plane,
back out.
Doc.
Excellent. Love it, love it, love it. As you guys exit the cave, you guys you hear like the you don't hear an eventual explosion.
Mhm.
And it comes to mind that you have 3 sticks of dynamite on
Oh, that I used to power the train.
you. Or that you
Oh.
like that must be what that was hooked to.
Shucks.
As that now kind of that realization
You better
sets
throw
in.
some of your other
I'm taking my
boomsticks.
goggles back.
Yep, goggles taken back.
I'm very disappointed in you.
And the footprints are now more prevalent, not more prevalent, but they come to mind again. And you see them kind of heading off in the direction of what looks like Spiral Butte.
I would like to start setting up explosives to cave in the entrance
Sure.
because I feel like I was cock teased out of it.
Done and done.
Sorry, Sam, Dad.
I'll be like, shouldn't they have gone boom by now?
Sure.
All right.
To the butte.
Well, let's stop the zombie horde from coming out of the cave first.
Well, I think he's gonna cover this.
And the cave entrance is completely closed.
Oh, good.
One problem solved.
One problem solved. But we're still looking for. So do we feel like the footprints are Ravenwood at this point,
I
or
imagine
but
so.
it was a
Possibly.
human, the only human we've seen here?
Yeah, they're humanoid size 10.
Well, let's hope this is proprietor.
I think I need to make
What's
a
in the
visit to my
bag?
lady.
Well, let's get a little distance away from the mouth of this cave and then we'll open it. Because
Alright.
he's about to blow it up and we gotta
Well, he done blowed it up.
all right, well then we're just gonna go over here and open the bag.
Cool.
So before we go back to town, let's see where these tracks are headed off to.
It was a controlled
Alright.
explosive.
All right.
Cool. As you guys are
Okay.
walking towards Spiral Butte, you kind of pour some of the contents of the bag into your hand, and they seem to be gold coins that have Native American kind of symbols on them.
There's a coyote and an eagle. Now, what y'all think this is? It looks like a totem.
Those probably shouldn't have been taken out of wherever they were taken from.
Well, they was in the train.
Right, but whoever put them in the train came from,
Mm.
they probably
Is there
belong
anything
somewhere.
else inside the bag or any inscription on the bag or anything to indicate who the bag may have
Knowledge
been belonging
Arcana?
to?
Unfortunately not. And if you could pull a fingerprint, you would be able to tell. But that sort of technology is not available to you.
Could I tell if maybe that their bag is made of some sort of fine material, or maybe there's an insignia on it? Either thing that uses history or investigation.
No
would be
insignia
nice.
on the outside of the bag, but these coins, history checks would be great.
Ooh.
We'll see if you guys know where these.
What
coins
do
are
we
from.
know
Right,
here?
I'm
History.
gonna find out.
Ooh, I know history. Not that much history. That's a 9.
Well.
I am
Dirty 20.
30-20.
Word.
You recall a recent newspaper story that talked about a train robbery that was hauling Native American gold from one reservation to another, and this train was robbed. Was halted, contents stolen. Everybody aboard the train was killed. No survivors, and no one really knows who done it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that thing was. I mean, it was just there in the mountain, abandoned, with all them miners.
Was that their train a narrow gauge or a full gauge engine?
Full gauge engine.
Damn, that's a big ass train.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll reckon up the butte then.
Mm-hmm.
You guys
Someone's
see,
got to have some answers.
You guys see wooden arrow planks aimed in the direction of the entrance of one of the tunnels. One of them says Big Thunder Mountain Mine. The other one says Spiral Butte.
The tracks are still heading towards Spiral Butte.
Absolutely.
Let's follow
Clear
these
as
tracks.
day.
I think we go to Thunder Mountain.
To the butte.
As you guys head towards the butte, you look inside. This one is more lit. There are torches kind of leading up this mountainside.
Watch out for falling rocks.
As the
more
previous
worried about the
cave you
people
guys had been
watching.
in angled down, and into the surface of the ground below you. This one kind of has the carved out inside of this rock going up. And you can see these railroad tracks kind of leading all the way to the top. And there's a clear walking path that you could use the steps of this train or carts to get all the way to the top.
I'm thinking, now hear me out here. Maybe following the footprints when we got dead people walking around is the wrong solution.
Well, they don't have the shuffle to them like the other ones there. These are clearly...
Now,
walking.
here's the other question. Who the hell is out here walking around in the middle of the night with these zomboids?
Well, that's what we need to go find out.
I think it's a better idea to close it off and not deal with it anymore. Maybe we go get ourselves some sleep and have a good night's rest instead of going out and getting ourselves killed. Some of us already decided to blow up some train and find some cursed gold. Now, I don't know about the lot of y'all, but that ain't something that sits right
I
with me.
think Mr. Ravenswood likely sent for all of us, and if anyone has any answers, it's going to be him. And I, for one, will not be sleeping this evening without answers.
Agree.
As you guys enter the butte, you find yourselves trailing up along the walls. Roll investigation or perception checks as you guys move up.
Before we go in, can I set a cave in with my box outside in case?
It's going to take you a bunch of time, and if they're not waiting for you, you will be out there by yourself. Your
18.
choice.
13.
18, 13,
7.
As you choice
What was the thing that we're rolling for?
investigation or perception.
Oh, okay. 26.
Excellent. Coming up on two separate sections, you kind of walking on the inner side and you walking on the outer side. You guys come across a piece of train kind of wood that kind of holds it to the ground. And as you step on it, it lifts up on the other side. And you immediately notice this. And you kind of look underneath, and there is a slip of paper.
It's upside down.
And this slip of paper resembles a letter of sorts, burnt across the edges.
What you find there, Fuzzy?
What's that? What's that in your hand?
What you got there, partner? Y'all can't
This
read.
Ravenswood is a bad fellow. It seems here. I pull out a pair of spectacles. All right, my monocle. Dear Mr. Ravenswood, it has come to our attention that the gold used to secure this land was in fact stolen from a recent train robbery. We are sending the marshal if you do not turn yourself in. I knew this Ravenswood fellow was not to be trusted. But you know what the good news is?
Explosivo.
You guys continue up the path?
Yes. Everybody, be on your wits, as I
Excellent.
feel this fella is not one of the good ones.
Now, paying more attention to loose wood and loose materials, as you guys travel further up this mountain pass, you find a second letter. Sorry, broke hand.
It's all right.
My
Hey,
bad.
you don't
I need to
read
roll a
that
dex
heresy.
saving.
You don't need to read that heresy.
I don't need to read it. Should I read it?
Corrupting words.
Y'all, there is a bounty on the head of Mr. Ravenwood, and it's quite hefty. $35, dead or alive.
Very well, then.
But does he need to be recognizable?
Well, Doesn't say anything about that, but whoever this Walter is sounds pretty serious.
Walter White? I've heard of him.
$35 if we split that 4 ways. My goodness.
Did you know Walter when you were here?
Walter. No, I don't recall any Walter. I mean, Granddaddy used to have some fellows over for poker, and there was a guy they called Wally. It may be that was short for Walter.
You guys who can track this line of logic and know the name Frontierland, you know that the mayor of Frontierland is a guy named Walt.
Walter Elias? The Walter Elias?
The Walter Elias.
Wow.
And he is kind of helping pursue this matter of relocation of this gold. And facilitating it so much so as he may be part of the reason why Rainbow Ridge is even being created right now.
That would explain why there's not a miners' union.
But
Doom doom.
Rim shot.
Wait a second. Is this Walt Disney?
Yes. Absolutely.
I didn't even think about it until you said Union. I was like,
He's catching up.
Yeah, that's what tipped me off.
Oh my God.
Walter Elias.
Great.
Yeah,
This is perfect.
no, it was the Union. I was like, wait a second, unions weren't around till. That was what got me. My poor history brain was like,
Oh, amazing. As you guys make your way up towards the very tip top of Spiral Butte, you get to an area where the train car ends. You see a big block and like a locking mechanism. And just beyond is a doorway, like an office that says H. Ravenswood.
So there's an office door up there?
Mhm.
Are there any footprints leading into the office?
There are footprints leading into the office.
Yeah, pretty fresh.
No.
Looking pretty relatively recent.
Absolutely.
I've got the perfect solution for this. I pull out
Of course you
another
do.
Thunder Wave Dynamite bundle. I'm gonna blow the doors off the hinges.
No, baby. He'll come peacefully now.
It says dead or alive, and I'm not really too caring that much about, the living part, considering he didn't really care too much about the alive part.
Do. All right, Mr. Ravensworth, come on out. The gig is up. We got the gold. We know you wanted. You can come the easy way or the hard way. Doesn't matter to me.
And you don't hear anything in return.
I back everybody up.
Fire in the hole!
Oof. Mage hand.
Acceptable.
So the explosion happened. So I'm like, we in like a cave area.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
he
in a.
throws that thing like off to the side. And I'll just be like,
If it actually explodes, you guys are not doing well.
but it's got the wick on it, right?
Yeah,
so just yet again,
correct.
and like
That's
bring
what
it
I'm
back into
hoping.
my hand.
That's what I'm hoping is able to happen.
Yes. And I'm just like, the next one's coming. Like, you heard that wick going. The next one's coming for you. And like I step back, and then like still just like mage hand open the door with like all of us like.
Excellent. The door opens, creaks open into Ravenswood's office.
Page 3.
I want to blow it up. I shouldn't have played a character with dynamite.
All right.
Oh.
I like explosions.
You guys can see horseshoes lining the entire top
They're all upside down.
of the wall. They are not. They're normal size.
Oh, okay.
They're normal size up.
Man, how many lucky feet does this guy have?
And you see a desk down the center. There is a small what is it called when you use the rocks to melt stuff?
A forge?
A smelter forge. You see
Yeah.
a small forge next to this wall
Mhm.
and a smokestack that leads up through the mountain. And you imagine kind of has an out poking somewhere along the lines to let this smoke out. You see a chair opposite, like you see the back of a chair behind the desk, and you don't see anybody inside the chair at the moment.
I sit in the chair.
As you walk over towards the desk, you see legs crossed, sitting at the table, sitting at the desk, back.
Wait, I thought there was no one in the chair.
From behind, you could not see someone in the chair.
Oh, so it was like a big
Oh.
high back chair?
You got it.
Got it. So you're like walking in and what do you see?
Dynamite.
And you see this red coat gentleman kind of turn. Very pristine clothing, black hair, slick back, and you see a gentleman with a cigar, a very thin cigar, turn, and he says, "If it isn't our adventurers, are you all having a great time so far?"
Walt sent me.
Walt, you say? And he stands up immediately. What business do you have with Walt?
Why don't you just make this easy on yourself and come on in?
He does not see the paper.
Ooh.
You know, I happen.
Come with you? What do you mean, come with you? This is my town.
Ah. So then you are. So what you're saying then is you're Walt.
I'm Walt?
Are you not Walt?
No, I'm Henry Ravenswood. I brought you here.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Henry Ravenswood,
I like the Dynamite.
this is your lucky day. Walt sent me to negotiate the purchase of this place from you.
Purchase of this place.
Your troubles are over, buddy.
Is this room? There's only one door in here, right?
Correct. Roll
Yeah.
a persuasion check for me.
I would like to light the TV.
The TNT leads down.
10.
10.
The one that he took from, or that he stopped, I would like to be holding it and lighting
He
it.
grabbed it. As you threw it, he grabbed it and put it out.
That's
Do you
right,
have
I'm
any
holding
other?
it now.
Do you have any other
many
spell
other-
slots?
Oh, I have plenty of others. I'll use another one.
I'm gonna stay by the door and watch the hallway to make sure nothing else is coming up behind us.
Understood.
Hmm.
I'm gonna blast.
Look, you can head back to Walt and tell him I'm not interested in selling. What I am interested in is figuring out why these accidents are happening.
It wasn't me. Sorry. Have it.
I'm sure you know Abigail here. Her grandpappy sent us up here to retrieve you. Which
Abigail Bullion.
Nice to see ya.
Oh man, what are you doing here?
Well, my granddaddy, he was looking for some adventurers, and I decided to mosey on back into town and give these fellas a hand. Seems there's some sort of train robbing that went on around these parts. You know anything about that?
You see him slowly reaching towards his side.
Thermite. You metal on the thing.
Roll initiative.
I will throw his bomb as well. 6.
Bear with me a moment.
Natural 20. Get
Yeah.
Nice.
Prospector
Nice,
with a
nice.
natural 20. Wilfred.
fucked.
Wilfred, what was your roll? Do you remember? 6. Abigail,
18.
18. And Jake,
22.
22. Not a natural 20, though, right?
No.
And let's add Cephalic Caltro to the party.
I'm gonna heat this bitch up.
Fired up.
We are going to start with Prospector Podunk.
I immediately reach for my little thermite pouch and I throw that bitch right on his pistol.
Right on his pistol.
It heats up into a glowing flame. And as soon as he touches it, he goes, "Ah, mother!" as it burns him.
That's a roll of some sort for me.
Yep, DC 16. Probably con save.
That is a natural 20 on the die.
Let me check what it does. Contact with the object takes 2d8 when you get spell. And you can use bonus action on each of your turns to cause this damage again. If the creature is holding or any object and takes the damage from it, the creature must succeed on a con save or drop or throw the object. Okay. So he can still hold it.
Yep.
But he takes 2d8.
Yep.
14 points of fire damage.
Understood. As the thermite hits his pistol, and he still manages to grab it back, and you see the steam coming from his hand seems to be undisturbed by this damage. Bonus action movement?
I mean, I'll throw a stick TNT at him.
Sure.
Was that 16?
16 hits.
All right, let me see if it's blows up in my face. It doesn't. For 17 points of damage as the TNT explodes in his face.
I love it. As you guys start to hear the walls and earth around you begin to crumble, and little rocks begin to fall down. 17 points?
17 points.
Beautiful. Next in line is Jake Planesrunner.
All right. I found my attack right here at the top. Okay. So bonus action will be to put the mark on him again, the Slayer's Prey mark,
Yeah, sure.
and then I'll take 2 shots with the rifle.
Understood. Let's go ahead and make some attack rolls.
Natural 1 on the first one.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Roll damage for that for me, please.
And then a nat 20 on the second.
Excellent.
Okay, so the first one is 8 points
8
for the.
points of damage. You're back behind the door. You have over by the chair, Abigail. How much damage was that?
8.
8. You're gonna take 8 points of damage as the bullet hits behind your
Sorry.
shoulder.
Sad face.
Second attack.
Yeah, and that was a nat 20 on the second.
Yeah, hell yeah. Roll me some damage
How
and
do you-
double the dice.
Double the die?
Yep,
Okay,
you won't
so
double your modifier that adds to it, the 2d something plus something you won't add, but you will multiply the dice 2 by 2 rolls.
7 times 2 is 14, plus 3 is 17.
17 points of damage as you release a shot through the chair, creating a large hole, and some blood splatters.
Oh, and then
out the other
D6 for
side.
the thingy, the hunter's mark.
Oh, shit, yeah.
6 points.
Awesome. What was the total damage? I'm so very sorry.
17 plus 6.
Awesome.
23.
Fudge, yeah. I'm assuming ends your turn, but bonus action, any movement?
Nah, I'll stay right by the door.
Fantastic. Abigail,
Dang, y'all.
as a bullet grazes your arm,
I know.
kind of
Super
almost
bummed
knocks you
about
off
that
balance a
ish.
little bit.
All right, I would like to use my shotgun.
Sounds good.
Yes, I'm gonna use my shotgun on this fella here, because, well, he pissed me off. Made me real mad.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, it probably doesn't even hit him anyhow. Shucks, it's a 5.
And the desk in front of him begins to explode as you're shot just a little too low.
Lovely. Can some of the splinters go into his face at least? Into his beard whiskers, perhaps? Splinters in the beard whiskers.
Any bonus action movement?
Yes, I think that I would like to hide.
Ooh, wonderful.
Yes, I'm going to duck behind. Is there another desk in the room?
There's
perhaps,
no other
where I can-
desks in the room.
No.
There are like some pieces of furniture, where he looks like he keeps some of his clothing. He may spend the night here on
Oh,
occasion.
All right. Yeah.
And I mean, but really outside of that, there's just flat walls kind of
All
surrounding.
right. Well,
'Cause
I'm
it's a
gonna
makeshift office.
make
Some-
myself
something
little
I
and get
forgot to
behind
mention
whatever
every
I
time.
can.
I've done the dynamite.
Yep.
It yeets them, I believe, 15 feet from the thing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it sends them, I think, 15 feet in the opposite direction of me. My bad.
I'm
5 feet away from me.
I'm so sorry. You are at the door, and behind you is the drop off heading down.
Okay.
Is it a deck save
No.
or it just
the
happens?
the people who I hit with it.
You hit everyone in this room, and he's just the only one by the door.
With the dynamite?
Yes. You're doing 17 points of dynamite damage.
Oh.
That's going to be a bigger explosion inside of one singular room than it would be out in the wilderness. Right? That makes sense.
You're trying to concuss everybody too?
I'm not trying.
Right?
You
Yeah,
are
concuss.
trying to. I have nothing to do. I didn't like dynamite.
damage.
So he 5 feet, boom, against the wall. Is there any additional damage
No.
there? We're gonna call damage from the wall that he hits. It's a significant amount.
Damage.
And we'll have you make a deck save, to catch yourself on the rails.
22. dex.
Fudge, yeah, man.
All
As you're
right.
slide off by your feet, the heels of your boot. If you have spurs, the
Spurs is
spurs are
bugging.
hanging off the edge. Yeah. you like put your gun
You
forward.
do that Jack Burton thing where he was in the wheelchair, like.
I totally like to think like he switches the like barrel side of his gun. the
Or weight on
opposite
that
way.
side.
Yeah, and he kind of leans forward. Now your feet are planted firmly. Understood. Please remind me of that in
And
the
some-
future.
Damage too.
And no damage, but
Okay.
because you didn't hit anything, he hit a wall, so he took a little bit extra damage. Abigail, shotgun, hid. Anything additional?
No,
Or stealth check for me on the hide.
all right. Well,
Fantastic. So we will get an action now from Henry Ravenswood. As Henry looks out and he says, there's nothing that you can do to stop me now. I have the gods on my side. And you hear lightning strike on the outside. And you see him pull into his pocket coin as he begins to plop the coins down onto the ground from his hand. And he reaches down for, or he in his hand, in his other hand, you see the gun still around as he aims at each of you and then stops on Colonel. And pulls the trigger down the center.
He does that at disadvantage.
He does that at disadvantage. Does a 15 on the first. And a natural 1 on the second.
Woo!
As he pulls the trigger and the steam from his hand distracting him a little bit, and the bullet leaves a hole right toward the top of your hat.
That's for you, Loper.
You see him kind of reach down at his desk and begin to open up his drawer. As Wilfred, it is your turn.
Wilfred kind of turns his cane over a little bit and just starts firing off missiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cock it every time.
Nice.
As 5 magic missiles shoot out of the front of his.
Go ahead and
thing.
roll me some damage.
Oh yeah, 1, 2.
You need some more D4s?
3. Give me 2 D4. Yeah. One down. So much D4s.
Nice dice tray.
3, 6, 8, 10, 12, 17 points of magic missile damage. Those are really nice dice.
As you see all 5 shots landing mid-center, just off by a hair a little bit. And he begins to stand still, almost unaffected by this damage. You can see
what?
blood leaking down his front side. but he does not seem to be acknowledging the pain whatsoever. Any bonus action movement?
Bonus action hide.
Bonus action hide. Roll a stealth check for me, please.
Does he look any worse for wear?
He does, yeah.
Natural
he's got,
20.
He's got holes and he's leaking blood. It's just like the grimace you would normally see from
Baby
somebody
turns
getting
natural
shot
20.
like this is not prevalent. But he's definitely taking damage.
That was
Hyde
his
was a
first
natural
natural
20.
I'm gonna document that as well.
That's awesome.
Like a cat.
As you you find yourself on the opposite side of the door, and you find this last note. I would not take the time to read it yet.
Okay.
But you find a piece of parchment up in the ceiling right above the door. Which brings us to the top. Podunk.
Now, does he look like he's like really hurt?
He looks like he's leaking blood, but you can't tell that he's hurt by the look of his face. He looks still in his resolve, gun pointed, steam. You can see flesh and bubbling from his hand. It just doesn't seem to be acknowledging it.
I'm gonna make a personal check
Sure.
to see what I do here. I have an idea, but I'm curious because this could end really poorly.
Cool.
All right, I think I could probably survive the situation without doing that. Yeah, it's more fun this way. Y'all are gonna need to leave. I'll handle this one. You guys save the town. There's something off with this man here. And I take the lighter. And I light all of my bundles on me. And I run and try to tackle the guy.
Oh, wonderful. Roll me a strength check against his strength.
I actually can do this really well. The neat thing about this class is, or one of my infusions, I get to use my intelligence for strength checks.
Nice. You got a 13 to beat.
A 13? Hey, somebody got a reroll?
Nobody has a reroll.
Oh, is that what these are?
That
That's
is.
There
an
you go.
inspiration token, sir.
Awesome.
That is a reroll.
I'm gonna reroll.
Passing on down then.
Yep.
Thank you so very much.
23.
Yeah.
As you grab on, and you fall to the ground.
There's only one way to hell.
Jake, you are next in the initiative order.
Uh
What are you doing?
huh. Ducking behind the wall so I don't get knocked off the cliff again.
Boom, off to the side,
So
just
we
outside
came
of this
up
room.
like a butte, right?
Correct.
Up here, like, okay.
And you're up a considerable amount away. Like
That's
you couldn't
fine, that's
just
fine.
jump down the side.
Y'all better
But
stop
there is
running.
a cart
Oh, no.
kind of broke at the top.
I'm just like,
Oof, we got the cart there. Yeah, dive into the cart. Oh.
Oh, I was.
So you kind of piled. You see the cart. You hop in the cart.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
Seeing what he just did, yeah.
Abigail, what do you do?
I'm jumping into the cart.
Turn the corner, jump
Yeah.
into the cart.
Jump
Last
into
to act, Wilfred, before Sefik Caltro gets a chance. I'm
so
sorry.
it's a cart like going
Not
down.
Sefik
Like
Caltro.
it's a cart like going down the
It
spew.
would be.
The brakes
It's
are on.
It broke at the very, very tippy top.
Jump in, mage hand.
Just right away. Just
Pull
as
the
soon as
brake.
you-
Mhm.
Awesome. As
Puffy
you guys
cattail sticking out of the
begin
top.
to- I mean,
Indiana
at,
Jones, eat your heart.
at crazy speed, because it's angled and the cart is now so very heavy, it is beginning to turn these corners. Zoom, zoom, 3, 2. You guys are almost at the edge. Boom! You hear a loud explosion, fire from the very tippy top of the butte. Flames and rocks and debris pile across the ground as your cart comes to a screeching halt at the bottom of the butte. You now see the sides of the wall starting to crack. And you begin to see boulders fall from the ceiling down. You guys make your way out of Spiral Butte.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys exit Spiral Butte, you see the rocks boom, boom, boom pile in on the other side, blocking the entrance to Spiral Butte. Yeah.
What you got there, Mr. Brimstone?
You find another one?
To whom this may concern. The man by the name Henry Ravenswood is a wanted criminal. Stay far away as he is armed and dangerous. Find a lawman if you know anything about his whereabouts. Henry is wanted for murder and theft. H. Ravenwood may still be in the possession of more than 1 million in stolen Native American. He was a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And deserved to die.
Inside checks.
18.
You know he's lying.
Mhm.
Colonel Jake, you know it. There was more on that letter than he's letting across.
20 total. Yeah.
You think that's exactly what it said. Oh, Indian trail. At the base of this entrance, you guys are standing there, kind of shaken from the events.
Prestidigitation.
Love it. And what would you guys like to do?
Well,
Well, now what, guys?
Sorry, David.
I do believe
A moment for our fallen friend? End moment.
I do believe her grandpappy said something about starting a certain explorers club.
Yeah. Esau doesn't quite sound right, though. Maybe C instead. SCA?
I do believe I know where we might be able to find some startup capital.
You do.
But that might be an adventure for another day.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys see Mr. Bullion kind of come around the side, there's a couple marshals up here. They have some questions for everybody. You all wouldn't happen to see Henry Ravenswood out there, did you?
No, sir.
Oh, well, that's a shame. These marshals want to have a conversation. As he walks with you guys back towards the saloon, you see two gentlemen marshals, very nice suits, 3 pieces. You see pistols over by their sides and large badges. And that is where we'll end today's session.
Nice.
Happiest of birthdays to Greg.
Yay.
I hope you enjoyed this Big Thunder Mountain one-shot extreme. And hopefully we find a lot more about the Society of Explorers and Adventurers.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yay!
Well done.